Are you tired of relationships that feel one-sided? Ever wonder what it really takes to make a connection with a Sigma female? If you're here, you probably already know that Sigma females aren't just any woman. They're strong, independent, and unapologetically themselves. But what do they need from men? What kind of support do they crave for a genuine, lasting relationship? In this video, we're uncovering the 8 things Sigma females really need from men. Let's get into it. Okay, let's break this down. Sigma females. What's the deal? They're the ones who move through life with a quiet confidence. They don't need validation from anyone, and they're not about the drama. It's not about being alone, but about choosing when and who to share their time with. Sigma females value their independence, but still crave deep, meaningful connections. Now here's the thing. If you don't understand a Sigma female's needs, it can be easy to misread her. So, let's talk about what she really wants, and what men need to bring to the table if they want a real shot at creating something lasting. There's a misconception that Sigma females don't need anyone. Some think they're cold or uninterested in relationships, but that's not true. Sigma females just don't settle. They know what they want, and they don't have time for games or fake connections. So, it's easy for their needs to get overlooked or misunderstood. But here's the truth. They do have specific needs. They just need a partner who gets it. And, most importantly, a man who's capable of meeting those needs. 1. Respect for her independence. Sigma females cherish their autonomy. They need a man who respects their space and doesn't try to control them. If you're someone who values your own freedom, you'll understand where she's coming from. Don't crowd her. Trust that she can handle things on her own and still be there for you when needed. Sigma females are incredibly independent. They have built their lives around their own autonomy and the ability to stand strong on their own. They thrive in environments where they can make their own decisions, follow their passions, and explore the world at their own pace. When a man comes into their lives, they need him to understand this independence and to respect it. This means not trying to control them or tell them what they should or shouldn't do. Instead, they need a partner who values freedom, both his own and hers. If you're a man who also cherishes your personal space and time, you'll easily understand the importance of respecting her autonomy. It's not about being distant or detached, but about knowing when to give her the space she needs to grow and thrive. Sigma females don't want to feel stifled or trapped in a relationship. They've learned how to navigate life on their terms and have no intention of changing that. A man who understands this will not crowd her, overwhelm her, or expect her to seek his permission before making decisions. He'll give her room to breathe, to chase her dreams, and to pursue her own path. That doesn't mean he's absent or indifferent, though. It means he trusts her fully, knowing that she is more than capable of handling challenges on her own, yet will turn to him when she needs support or when she's ready to share her experiences. The key here is balance. A Sigma female needs a man who doesn't hover over her or try to change her. She needs someone who respects her boundaries, both physical and emotional. She is not someone who will ask for constant reassurance or validation. Instead, she expects a relationship where trust is established from the start, allowing both partners the freedom to be their true selves. This doesn't mean she isn't emotionally available or willing to give. On the contrary, she is capable of immense love, but it has to come naturally and without pressure. She's not the type to cling or demand constant attention. The man she's with needs to be confident enough in himself to not feel threatened by her need for independence. If anything, he should see it as a sign of strength. She is a woman who knows who she is and what she wants. She doesn't need someone to fix her or complete her. She wants a partner who complements her. This respect for independence is crucial to any lasting relationship with a Sigma female. Without it, the dynamic will quickly become one-sided, with either her feeling controlled or the relationship feeling suffocating. For a Sigma female, her independence isn't just a preference, it's a fundamental part of her identity. A man who gets this will naturally build a relationship where both individuals can thrive separately and together. So, if you're in a relationship with a Sigma female, or you want to be, know this. Respecting her autonomy isn't just important, it's the foundation of everything. It shows that you trust her, believe in her strength, and value her for who she is, not for how much of her time or attention she can give you. She needs space, but that space doesn't mean she loves you any less. It's simply that, when she's with you, it's because she wants to be, not because she feels she has to be. If you're feeling this, make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more deep dives into understanding relationships. Now, let's move on to the next one. 2. Emotional maturity. Sigma females don't have time for emotional chaos. They need a man who's emotionally intelligent, someone who can express feelings without drama or games. Be straightforward, be calm, be real. Sigma females are drawn to emotional maturity, and they have no time for unnecessary drama or emotional chaos. They've lived through enough ups and downs to know that emotional stability is essential for a healthy relationship. What they need is a man who is emotionally intelligent, someone who understands his own feelings and can express them clearly and calmly. Sigma females value honesty and directness, so they're not looking for someone who plays games or hides their true emotions. They want a partner who can communicate openly without the need for manipulation or subtle hints. When they face challenges, they need someone who can discuss things in a calm, collected way, without resorting to yelling or passive-aggressive behavior. The ideal partner for a Sigma female is someone who knows how to stay level-headed in stressful situations, someone who can take a step back, evaluate the situation, and express what's on their mind in a clear and thoughtful way. Sigma females are not looking for someone who will bring unnecessary conflict into the relationship. They don't need a man who is quick to anger, overly sensitive or dramatic. Instead, they want someone who can handle disagreements with maturity and respect. If there's an issue, they want to talk about it like adults and find a solution together. Games and emotional manipulation are a complete turn-off. Sigma females value transparency, so being straightforward is key. They need a man who isn't afraid to say what he feels and who can do so without being overly dramatic or evasive. There's no room for guessing games or trying to decode what someone is really saying. If a man has something on his mind, he should say it, and he should say it clearly. This approach builds trust and keeps things simple. For a Sigma female, emotional maturity is also about handling your own emotions. She doesn't want someone who needs constant reassurance or validation. She appreciates a man who is self-aware enough to manage his own emotional state and not project his feelings onto her. Being emotionally mature means not relying on her to fix your problems or constantly hold you up. It means recognizing when you need time to process your feelings on your own and when to share them in a constructive way. Sigma females need a man who understands that emotions are natural, but who doesn't let them control his actions. Emotional maturity also involves empathy. Sigma females need someone who can put themselves in their shoes and understand their perspective. They don't need someone who brushes off their emotions or tells them to calm down. Instead, they want a partner who listens, validates their feelings, and offers support when needed. It's about being there for each other without letting emotions spiral out of control. In short, Sigma females need a man who's emotionally grounded, someone who brings calmness, clarity, and understanding into the relationship. This allows both partners to communicate effectively, deal with challenges head-on, and grow together. The relationship will be built on a solid foundation of trust and mutual respect, where emotional maturity is the cornerstone. Emotional chaos has no place in a relationship with a Sigma female. What she needs is emotional stability, maturity, and the ability to be real with her, always. Feeling these points? Drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts on emotional maturity. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Now, let's continue. 3. Genuine support, not approval. Sigma females don't need a man to approve of everything they do. They need someone who supports their goals, ambitions, and choices, without trying to control or micromanage. They want someone in their corner, not someone trying to steer the ship. Sigma females don't seek validation from others, especially not from their partner. They've learned to trust themselves and rely on their own judgment, so they don't need a man to approve of every decision they make. What they truly crave is genuine support, a partner who encourages them to pursue their goals and ambitions without trying to control or second-guess their choices. This support isn't about constantly telling them they're doing things right. It's about being in their corner when they need it most. A Sigma female needs someone who believes in her potential and who shows that belief by offering encouragement, not by trying to take the reins. She doesn't need someone who questions every move she makes or who constantly asks for explanations. Instead, she wants a partner who respects her independence and trusts her to make the right decisions. She doesn't need a man to tell her what to do. She needs someone who respects her autonomy and lets her take the lead in areas where she feels confident. She's not looking for someone to direct her life or push her into paths she doesn't want to go down. What she really needs is someone who provides the kind of emotional and moral support that allows her to thrive. For a Sigma female, genuine support means having a partner who stands beside her, offering advice when asked, and stepping back when she's got things under control. She doesn't want a man to micromanage her life or try to mold her into what he thinks she should be. She needs someone who accepts her as she is and supports her in becoming the best version of herself, in her own way and on her own terms. The best partner for a Sigma female is someone who understands that they don't need to be her decision-maker. Instead, they offer encouragement when necessary and give her space to grow. They provide a sounding board when she needs to talk things through, but they don't impose their opinions unless she specifically asks for input. It's about being supportive, not controlling. Sigma females also want a partner who's self-assured enough not to feel threatened by their success or independence. Some men might feel insecure if their partner doesn't rely on them for approval or validation, but Sigma females are looking for someone who's secure in his own life and accomplishments. She doesn't need to be taken care of or protected from the world. She needs a man who can stand by her side as an equal, someone who admires her drive and determination. When a man supports a Sigma female's ambitions, he shows that he values her for who she is and what she's capable of. He doesn't try to push her to conform to his own expectations or desires. Instead, he respects her individuality and the unique path she's carving for herself. Genuine support from a man means that he sees her as a partner, not someone to fix or control. It's the kind of support that comes from a place of mutual respect, where both individuals feel empowered to be their true selves. Ultimately, what Sigma females want is a relationship where both people lift each other up, without trying to change one another. She's not looking for approval or someone to run her life. She's looking for someone who believes in her dreams and is there to support her as she works toward them, standing proudly by her side every step of the way. 4. Authenticity. She can spot a fake from a mile away. Sigma females need a man who is true to himself. No fronting, no pretending, just raw, honest authenticity. Don't try to impress her, just be you. Sigma females have a finely tuned radar when it comes to spotting inauthenticity. They've encountered enough fake personas and shallow interactions to know when someone is not being real. For them, authenticity is non-negotiable. She doesn't need someone to put on a show or try to impress her with flashy gestures. What she values most is someone who is genuinely themselves. No fronts, no pretense, just raw, honest authenticity. When a man is real with her, it's like a breath of fresh air. There's no need for playing games or trying to put on a facade to gain her attention. She's not interested in anyone who's pretending to be something they're not. Instead, she wants to see the real you, flaws and all, because that's where true connection begins. Sigma females are not impressed by status or material possessions. She wants someone who has done the inner work to truly know who they are and what they stand for. When a man shows up in her life with no pretense, she feels safe to let her guard down and be herself too. Authenticity is a two-way street, and Sigma females want someone who creates an environment of trust and openness. She doesn't need someone who constantly seeks validation or reassurance. Instead, she seeks a partner who is secure enough in himself that he doesn't feel the need to hide behind a mask. When a man is authentic, it gives her the freedom to be real with him in return. There's no fear of judgment or rejection because she knows that what he sees is what he gets. It's about emotional honesty. When she knows a man is being truthful and transparent, she can trust him more deeply. Sigma females don't need grand gestures or empty words. They want someone who speaks from the heart, without the need for embellishment or exaggeration. She doesn't need a man to try to impress her with flashy promises or performative acts. What truly impresses her is when he's comfortable being his true self, when he shows vulnerability, doesn't hide his imperfections, and is open about his feelings. The more authentic a man is, the more she can relax and let her true self shine too. She knows that she doesn't have to pretend to be someone she's not, because he's not doing that either. Being authentic is about letting go of insecurities and not trying to play to anyone's expectations. Sigma females want someone who can be unapologetically themselves without worrying about what anyone thinks. That's the kind of energy they crave, someone who isn't afraid to be honest, even when it's uncomfortable. They want someone who lives with integrity and stays true to who they are, no matter what. A relationship built on authenticity will always be the most powerful one because it's grounded in reality. For a Sigma female, nothing is more attractive than a man who is truly himself, no filters, no fakeness, just raw, honest, and real. If this resonates with you, like this video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more. Let's move on to the next point. 5. Intellectual stimulation. Sigma females love deep conversations. They want to connect on a mental level. She's not about small talk. She wants someone who can challenge her mind and keep her thinking. If you can keep up with her intellectually, you've won half the battle. Sigma females thrive on intellectual stimulation. They're not interested in shallow conversations or small talk that doesn't challenge them. For them, the true connection in a relationship is found through meaningful, deep discussions that go beyond surface-level topics. She wants to explore ideas, challenge perspectives, and engage in conversations that make her think and grow. If you're someone who can keep up with her mentally, you've already won half the battle. Sigma females need a partner who can engage with them on an intellectual level, someone who enjoys discussing topics that spark curiosity and ignite their minds. She's not about exchanging pleasantries or chit-chatting about the weather. She wants to dive into topics that matter, from philosophy to politics, psychology to science, and everything in between. It's not about impressing her with your knowledge, but rather showing her that you're able to think critically and engage with complex ideas. Sigma females value depth and intelligence. If you're able to hold your own in these kinds of conversations and keep the dialogue interesting and thought-provoking, it'll create a bond that's built on mutual respect and admiration for each other's intellect. She wants someone who challenges her thoughts and expands her horizons, not just someone who agrees with everything she says. Being able to respectfully disagree, present new ideas, and engage in stimulating discussions is key. For a Sigma female, intellectual compatibility is one of the most important factors in a relationship. She doesn't want someone who merely parrots back what she says or who simply agrees to avoid conflict. She wants a partner who can bring fresh ideas to the table, who can offer new perspectives, and who's open to being challenged in return. She's looking for someone who isn't afraid to dive deep into tough topics, to explore the unknown, and to have meaningful conversations that leave both of you thinking long after the discussion ends. It's about connection, but not just any connection. It's about a mental connection that fuels both of your minds. Conversations with her shouldn't be easy or predictable. They don't just want someone who can agree with them on everything, but someone who can engage them in conversation that's rich, stimulating, and full of intellectual energy. It's about depth, and this depth creates a unique bond that is far stronger than any superficial connection. If you can engage her in challenging conversations, she'll feel a sense of respect and admiration for you. You'll show her that you value more than just her looks or her personality. You value her mind. Sigma females need to know that they're not with someone who is stagnant in their thinking, but with a man who can evolve and adapt intellectually. When you can challenge her mind and keep her intellectually engaged, she'll feel like she's found someone who truly understands her. She'll appreciate your ability to keep up with her mental energy, and you'll be able to create a connection that's deeper than anything built on surface-level attraction. If you can stimulate her mind, you've already built a strong foundation for something meaningful and lasting. 6. Patience. Sigma females take their time to open up. They don't just let anyone in. So if you're serious about being with her, patience is key. Show her you can wait for her to come around and that you're not rushing the process. Sigma females are not the type to rush into relationships or open up to others quickly. They take their time to truly get to know someone before letting them in. For her, trust and emotional safety are earned, not given freely. She doesn't let just anyone see her true self. She carefully guards her heart and her thoughts, knowing that letting someone in is a big deal. This means that if you're serious about being with her, patience is key. You need to understand that this isn't about her playing hard to get or being difficult. It's simply her way of making sure that the people she allows into her life are worthy of her trust and commitment. Sigma females don't take their relationships lightly. They're not interested in rushing things or jumping into a relationship based on surface-level attraction or fleeting emotions. They might be reserved or quiet about how they feel, but this doesn't mean they're not interested or that they don't care. It simply means that they don't want to rush into something without being sure. If you're patient with her, you're showing her that you're not just interested in a quick fix or instant gratification. You're genuinely invested in building something real, something that lasts. This kind of patience can go a long way in earning her trust. As she takes her time to open up, she'll be observing how you handle the situation. If she sees that you're calm, respectful, and understanding, she'll start to feel more comfortable around you. She'll appreciate your ability to wait for her without rushing the process or forcing her to open up. The more you show her that you're willing to be patient, the more she'll trust you to be there when she's ready. In the end, patience isn't just about waiting. It's about showing her that you're someone who respects her pace and her emotional boundaries. If you're patient with her, you're giving her the space to trust you, and that trust is the foundation of a strong, lasting relationship. Sigma females don't need someone who's impatient or demands instant answers. They need someone who understands that love, trust, and deep connection take time to grow, and that rushing the process only undermines the quality of what's being built. So, if you're serious about being with a Sigma female, patience isn't just a virtue, it's a necessity. 7. Loyalty. This one's simple. Sigma females value loyalty above all else. If you're in, you're in. No games, no wondering where you stand. Be loyal, be committed, and that's how you'll build trust. Loyalty is one of the core values that Sigma females hold dear, and when it comes to relationships, this trait is non-negotiable. For them, loyalty is more than just a word. It's the foundation upon which everything else is built. Sigma females don't have time for uncertainty, games, or wondering where they stand. They want a partner who is fully committed, someone who is in it for the long haul, and someone who will stand by them through thick and thin. If you're in, and that means being all in with no hesitation. She doesn't have time for half-hearted attempts at commitment or someone who's unsure about where they want to be. For a Sigma female, loyalty is about showing up, not just when it's convenient, but when it matters. It's about being reliable, consistent, and present in the relationship. She needs to know that she can trust you to be there when needed, and that you're not going to bail the second things get tough. If you're not committed, she'll notice, and that will be a deal breaker. Sigma females don't want to play games in a relationship. They've seen enough of that, and it's just not their style. They value transparency and honesty, which means you should never leave her questioning where she stands with you. If you say you're committed, you need to show it, not just through words, but through your actions. Loyalty is about being trustworthy. It's about having integrity and being someone she can rely on, no matter what. She's not interested in someone who says one thing and does another. She needs consistency, someone who keeps their promises and stands by their word. Sigma females know that trust is fragile, and once it's broken, it's hard to rebuild. So they take loyalty seriously and expect the same from their partner. If you're loyal, you show her that she doesn't have to worry about your intentions. There's no guessing, no wondering about where you stand. You're with her, and you're in it for the long term. The trust that comes from loyalty creates a secure environment in which a Sigma female can thrive. It allows her to open up, be herself, and invest in the relationship without fear of betrayal or heartbreak. When loyalty is established, it creates a deep bond that can weather any storm. Sigma females need loyalty because it builds a solid foundation for everything else. If you can be loyal to her, she'll be loyal to you in return, and that loyalty will be the bedrock of a powerful, trusting, and lasting relationship. So, be loyal, be committed, and you'll find that trust and respect follow naturally. 8. Space to grow. Sigma females are constantly evolving. They need a partner who supports their growth and doesn't try to hold them back. She's not looking for someone to complete her. She's looking for someone who will let her flourish, evolve, and reach her full potential. Be the kind of man who cheers her on. Sigma females are always in a state of evolution. They're constantly seeking to better themselves, expand their horizons, and challenge the limits of what they can achieve. This drive for growth is a core part of who they are, and it influences every area of their life, from their careers to their personal development to their emotional growth. Because of this, they need a partner who understands and supports this journey. She's not looking for someone who wants to complete her or hold her back. She's already whole and knows that she's capable of standing on her own, but she seeks someone who will encourage her to flourish, evolve, and become the best version of herself. If you're the kind of man who can give her the freedom and support to grow, you'll have won her respect and admiration. A Sigma female isn't interested in being with someone who feels threatened by her ambition or success. She doesn't want a partner who tries to dim her light or limit her potential. She needs someone who believes in her dreams and who encourages her to pursue them with everything she has. This means being the kind of man who stands beside her, not in front of her or behind her. It's about being her cheerleader, not her gatekeeper. She's looking for someone who supports her goals, whether that's taking on a new project, stepping up in her career, or diving into something completely new and unknown. Instead of trying to control her growth or steer her toward a path that you think is best, let her explore and take her own risks. The kind of man who truly understands this dynamic will offer her the space she needs to chase her dreams, knowing that this kind of support strengthens the bond between them. If you can let her grow, she will appreciate the partnership you're offering and show up as her best self in the relationship. So, be the kind of man who cheers her on, stands by her side, and lets her shine. That's the kind of support that will make her feel truly seen, loved, and understood. Here's the kicker. The one thing that might surprise you. Sigma females crave space and freedom, but they also crave emotional depth. It's not just about the ability to be independent or pursue their own goals. It's about finding someone who can meet them where they are on an emotional level. A Sigma female doesn't need constant validation or attention, but she does need someone who can understand the quiet moments, the long silences, and the kind of connection that isn't spoken but just felt. She needs a partner who's comfortable with that depth, the kind of person who isn't afraid of the moments where words are unnecessary, where understanding is just shared in the look, the gesture, or the comfort of being together without saying a word. Sigma females want someone who can sit with them in the silence and not feel uncomfortable. They don't need to be constantly entertained, and they certainly don't need to fill every moment with chatter or forced excitement. They appreciate the calm, the stillness, the presence that speaks louder than any words. It's about being with someone who can understand that not everything needs to be said out loud to be real. Emotional depth is something Sigma females value deeply. It's not about superficial conversations or meaningless small talk. It's about getting into the heart of things, exploring emotions and ideas that bring real connection. She needs someone who can engage her in conversations that dig beneath the surface, that challenge her perspective, and that go beyond just exchanging pleasantries. She wants to know that her partner can meet her where she is, someone who can handle complexity and isn't afraid to dive deep into what truly matters. But here's the thing. Sigma females don't want to be emotionally drained or constantly asked to prove themselves. They don't need someone who's demanding emotional attention or reassurance all the time. What they really need is a safe space, a place where they can be themselves without judgment, a space where they can express their vulnerabilities and not feel like they're being weighed down or criticized for being human. That's where true connection comes in. The right partner for a Sigma female is someone who respects her need for independence, but also respects the need for emotional depth. They don't try to force her into their idea of what a relationship should look like. They understand that her emotional space is sacred, and they respect the way she chooses to navigate her feelings. This is the balance, a space where she can grow, be herself, and share her depth, while feeling free and supported at the same time. So, there you have it. The 8 things Sigma females really need from men. It's not about grand gestures or flashy displays of affection. It's about respect, trust, and the ability to connect on a deeper level. It's about understanding that sometimes silence speaks louder than words, and that emotional depth can be just as fulfilling as freedom. If you're a man who can provide this, who can offer both space and connection, who can give her the freedom to be herself without judgment, you'll have a relationship that's built to last. A Sigma female's loyalty and connection aren't easily won, but when you understand her needs and meet them, you create a bond that's stronger than anything superficial. What do you think? Are you a Sigma female, or are you someone trying to understand one? Drop a comment and let me know what you think about these points. Do you agree with the things Sigma females need from men, or is there something else you would add to the list? And don't forget to check out my other videos for more insights on building stronger, deeper connections. Let's keep the conversation going. See you in the next one.